going on. It's like I've been noticing this spirit lately of like it's like timing wise, it's like the worst possible freaking timing for a person to try to like basically captivate you, which means keep your attention on whatever they're talking about. Like, look, it'll be small talk. It'll be like, it's like having a conversation about total imagination. Like, it's like making a bunch of plans, like and coming out and grandizing all these freaking plans, but none of them will ever come to fulfillment, especially if you're sitting here talking to me about it. And now, by you talking to me and like being needy, it's like you're stopping me from what I could be doing. You know what I'm saying? I could be making a video, I could be praying, I could be practicing, my kung fu. I could be uh, fixing my crafts. But because people like the spirits, it's like, all right, you stop watching TV now, right? So now the spirit inside of everyone else is constantly, do you want to watch a movie? You want to watch a movie? And like, look, if you count up a month, all the movies you watched, it's like, whoa, it took like a big freaking chunk out of your time. It's like I noticed this too. When I watch movies a lot, I just go to sleep. I can't even sit there and watch them anymore. Uh, because it does something to the mind where it shuts the mind off, and it's like on a computer when the computer goes on standby mode. And standby mode gets turned on, you'll be sitting there watching the freaking movie, and then you'll just fall asleep. You know what I'm saying? So I notice it is like a. That's why people use it to keep their kids entertained. And see, that's the thing. It's like, look, you need some conversation to be entertained because right now, your priorities are in the wrong place. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes people need to vent. Sometimes look, we need interaction with one another. Uh, that the mystery of water. It says the water that you do not pay no attention to just stagnates and then rots and it becomes a breeding ground for pathogens. Uh, Same thing with people. Or if you're constantly badgering at someone or you're complaining out loud, that's called, listen, badgering and complaining out loud. Like complaining out loud, like let's say someone was out in the kitchen and they were yelling about what someone else did to them. That's called narcissistic abuse by proxy. And since the person ain't getting the desired like look responses, see that's what narcissistic abuse is all about. It's about presenting problem reaction solution. It's like I know you're either gonna say it this way or that way, but if you say it this way, I'm going to come against you that way. And if you say it that way, I'm going to come against you this way. So either way, I get more attention. I get more conversation. I take up more of your time. I get more of your worship almost. Or you know what I'm saying? That's, look, giving someone attention and mindfulness is a step below worship. You know what I'm saying? The only thing by paying attention is yielding. Like listen to something you do not want to listen to. Like look, but someone needs to, they gotta tell you, and now they've passed the poison to you. Now it's in your mind, it's in your subconscious, it's in you. It's like you gotta you gotta try to resist these hinderers, man. And it's like not get yourself caught up in useless, vain, like guile filled and just gossiping and just all this discord. It's like this. God says the the remedy to that to get out of that mindset is to the things that are right and that are good and are true. Focus on those. If you're gonna have listen, you want to have a conversation like that with me, we could have that all freaking day. If you want to politic on truth, conspiracy, and stuff that actually matters. But I mean, even that, to just go just conspiracy, that's just like, it's a rabbit hole that goes on forever. You could just stay in there stuck. But when you add in the spiritual component and then the testimonies of the scriptures, it's like then you can discuss that all day and get more deeper revelations on the spiritual things as well. But to look at it just from an entertainment eye or curiosity, that you might find out things. You might actually be drawn into the very thing. You know what I'm saying? Because uh, it's it, a lot of times if you can't beat them, join them, and or that's the way they work too. All right, we can't stop him, so let's offer him a freaking contract, or you know what I'm saying. Let's shut him up. We'll kick him some kickbacks, and then it'll just you'll be living normal. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but they keep you so busy that you don't even have no time to really dedicate to God anyway. And that's what I'm saying right here. It's like, look, you got to be careful. You know what you let in the ear gate. You know what I'm saying? And then if you got the spiritual eye, you'll see what's going on, and you'll see that's just the devil working through these people, through this neediness, this false neediness. Because it's like, dude, you've just got so much freaking attention through your negative behavior. Now you want to have some calm, peaceful, relaxing time, but you done took all the fucking the concentration meter and the energy, because it literally drains your energy. Like, look, all my creativity be gone. Uh, they steal your thunder. They stalled you just long enough to, like, look, you strike while the iron's hot. Well, you were sitting there with this hot iron in your hand, about ready to bang it with a hammer, and then all of a sudden someone comes in like they got a life or death freaking dilemma. Please help me. And like, look, and it'll be something really simple they could have done themselves, but instead they went way down walked 2 blocks to come ask you to come back to do something they could have done. And that's the devil, that's the gremlins, that's the hinderers. And it's like sometimes the people know what they're doing, but sometimes they're just being puppeteered or environmentally somehow. Like someone's working on them, and it's feeding that spirit. And then since there's only certain people they can use it on, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times you'll get the swap, like I was saying. Someone comes to you with this great dilemma, and then you help them, this damsel in distress. Then they'll be feeling better, and then now they want, you know, just some more attention. But it's like, man, I gotta regroup now. I gotta reboot. You know, now I can't give. Even if I was to sit with you, it'd be like I was ignoring you, because you done sucked all my energy out that I could use on others for the moment. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, I see how the devil constantly does this, and it wears you out before you get to go. Like the energy you should have been using towards doing something that would help many. Instead, they use your sympathetic nature to help one, but really that was a ploy to stop you from being more fruitful in your work. Like, if this person could have just handled their biz, kept their peace, did what they had to do without saying anything, uh, it allows the other person to recharge. And who knows, since they're free and available, you could hit someone else up that normally doesn't have that opportunity. But they'll be trying to, you know what I'm saying, get in the way. And it's just, it's so crazy watching this spirit tug of war, where since it's like the demons very much seek the path of least resistance. What it is, themselves, right? They're a strong group, and they basically got a spiritual hit on you, right? And then they come and look for your weaknesses, and they're like, man, right now we cannot get in. So, or we could get in there, but look, we would have to do all this and this and that. We'd expend so much of our energy. So instead, they go to the people around you who are open doors, and they feed them with certain spirits that will, it'll gunk it up. It'll make it more difficult for you to do something that should have been simple. You know, but God does give you the strength to shake it off. You know what I'm saying? And He will renew your strength, even if these people are always on you. But it's just we're constantly being tested, and it's literally people that are open doors are just you never know what to exactly to expect, man. So them demons, when they get inside the person that's an open door, for some reason the human vessel, because of the free will, magnifies their magic, their manipulation, control, witchcraft, that the spirits, the demons, the entities, the fallen angels, powers and principalities, the jinn. It's like when they have a person who gives them agreement, like a vampire, will you let me in? Now they have the power to come in your house. It's the same thing with the demons. Even if you start blocking them out, they start seeking, since they still got a beef with you and they want to cause you some harm or whatever, or you pissed them off because you closed the door in someone else's life. Now they can't get in. So now they're like, we're going to get him. He's not going to do that again. So they'll come into the people around you, dude. And it's like when a human's in agreement, it magnifies their freaking, the demon's fucking influence, because a demon's a disembodied spirit. It can only do so much. But if it has an open ear to a person, all of a sudden, now it got a lot more control in the physical realm. So that's how it magnifies their manipulation, their sphere of influence. You know what I'm saying? So you got to recognize that. And it's kind of like in Acts, there's this like girl following them, and she keeps saying, "These are the servants of the Most High God," and she just kept being loud, like when they're talking, and it's like it was stopping the flow, and finally the dude was like, "Hey, demon, come out of this woman." You know what I'm saying? And the woman was possessed. She was she was basically like a palm reader, but demons do have the power of prophecy. So people got to understand all this divination, all this freaking astrology, all this freaking ask the 8 ball, freaking demons can use that as a freaking way to communicate with you, with the Ouija board, with your little even art imagery. You get the right art imagery, you look at it, and all of a sudden later, like say it's got a woman that's half clothed, you'll be thinking sexual thoughts later. Like, you know, art has the same ability to, that if like the person was under influence of a spirit when he did it, so that every person that comes in contact with that person's art has to come in contact with that same spirit, frozen in freaking time in a way. So there's a lot more transference and swaps. Like a swap is this, like a person just is so angry, and then like look, they keep trying to fight with you. You won't fight, and they just keep getting angrier and angrier and angrier. Like, look, and you're calm, you're cool, but finally they push all your freaking buttons. Now you're like this. What the heck? Why'd you do that? Now that person is totally calm, like they just popped a Prozac. That is a spirit swap. That's where a person's going like this, and as soon as you operate in their spirit, you know what I'm saying? Now you take their spirit, and then they steal from you that peace spirit, but it's the false peace. It's like a demonic peace. It's like a sensual, earthly, devilish wisdom kind of a peace, because it's like that's the kind of peace that comes from like a plot that you engineered, and then you see that you get away with it scot-free. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of peace that comes from that. It's not true peace of mind. It's only like, I got my peace, so now I'm at peace until I need to get my next fix. You know what I'm saying? But it's real crazy, man. Don't let the hinderers, because that's the thing. A hinderer